All right, and welcome to episode 4 of the FilmCast. I, of course, am Aiden Lorenzo, and this week I'll be doing what I always do on this podcast, and that is bring you the latest news in film. And let's start off with a bang. And by bang, I mean a review of a film that just came out. And that film just so happens to be David O. Russell's latest film, Amsterdam. Now, for those who don't know who David O. Russell is, he's the acclaimed director of films like Silver Linings Playbook and The Fighter. But he's also notoriously one of the most probably one of the most difficult to work with directors in Hollywood, mainly due to his penchant for being not very pleasant on set. Now, I have discussed the reasons why in the previous couple of episodes, so I'm not gonna dive into dive into them that much. But let's just say that the fact that he's still getting work is honestly kind of a disgrace. Anyways, let's talk about his latest film, Amsterdam. It has an absolutely stacked cast led by Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, and John David Washington, with with the likes of Rami Malek, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zoe Saldana, Timothy Olyphant, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, and Robert De Niro joining the cast as well. Now, I happened to see this film over the weekend, and let me tell you, probably one of, if not the most disappointing films of the year. And why is that? Well, to be honest, the film is kind of an unfocused mess. Feels like feels like 5 or 6 different movies crammed into one, complete with performances that just honestly feel wasted. Um, if there's any good things to come out of this movie, the cinematography is well done. The costume and production design look really nice. And of course, Christian Bale does pull out an awesome performance, but it's honestly not. But that's probably the only reason you should see this movie. So yeah, Amsterdam. I really wanted more from this movie, but unfortunately, we haven't. And I really, really hope that after this film, David O. Russell does not continue to get any more work because he's a piece of human garbage. So yeah. And speaking of Amsterdam, over the weekend it has not been doing so good. Let me tell you. As of recording this, the film has only made a worldwide total of $11.6 million on a budget of around 80 million, which this is absolutely just miserable, especially for a film like this. And there are reports coming out that the film may lose Disney or 20th Century Fox or whoever. Um, anyways, the film may lose Disney slash 20th Century Fox a total of between 80 and $100 million. You heard that correctly. So yeah, looks like this won't be getting any getting any press anytime soon. Um but yeah, really hoping that David O. Russell stops getting opportunities after this film. Um anyways, in other news, Marvel has reportedly delayed a bunch of their future releases. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. But given how the MCU has been kind of taking a downward spiral throughout Phase 4, it was kind of bound to happen. I mean, they're emphasizing quantity over quality as you can tell by the amount of projects they announced at San Diego Comic-Con over the summer. And as and not to mention there have been reports from VFX artists stating how overworked they've become from Marvel, especially considering and and this kind of can be seen as why their visual effects have not been very responded to well. Well, because they're rushing their visual effects artists and only to make a deadline. And as you can tell, that can put a strain on a lot of people. And to be honest, I would not blame them one bit. Anyways, I'm gonna look up the titles that have been delayed. So just give me a few seconds. So as I'm speaking right now, the following films have been delayed from their initial releases. Blade surprisingly got pushed up to September 6th, 2024. Honestly, kind of a troubled movie considering that the original director left and Mahershala Ali himself has been stating how unhappy he is with the progress of the film. So hopefully, fingers crossed that Marvel can get their stuff together and release an actually good movie. And speaking of actually good movies, Deadpool 3 has actually taken Deadpool 3 has actually taken Blade's original release date of November 8th, 2024. Um, which means that obviously Blade and Deadpool 3 have swapped release dates. Now, as I've stated in a previous episode, I am interested in seeing what Deadpool 3 will bring to the MCU, but I'm also worried because, well, it's the MCU. What more can I say? Fantastic Four has been delayed to February 14th, 2025. The film will be directed by Matt Shackman of WandaVision. And yeah, this is another movie that I'm really nervous about because the Fantastic Four has not exactly had the best theatrical experience. Of course, you have the unmade Roger Corman film from the 90s. You also have those two films from the 2000s, which, eh, I mean, I liked the first one when I was a kid, but Rise of the Silver Surfer, man, that was not good. And of course, we have Fan Four Stick, but I'm not going to dive into that. And the last of the delayed films will be Avengers Secret Wars, the end of Phase 6, which will be released on May 1st, 2026. And my next story, you know, this may be a podcast called the FilmCast, but I just really, really wanted to talk about this since I just found out about this like last night. So, so you guys know that Warner Brothers has recently merged with Discovery, and they've just been making all sorts of terrible decisions, including canceling Batgirl, canceling a lot of upcoming projects. They also they've also removed a ton of original and they've also removed a ton of stuff from HBO Max, including original movies, which is honestly really confusing. But hey, that's life. Um, but what? But probably the most damaging thing that they are planning to do is what I'm going to be talking about today, And unfortunately, this involves the good people over at Cartoon Network. So, for some of you who don't know, Cartoon Network actually turned 30 this year. Actually, like almost 2 weeks ago was their 30th anniversary. And unfortunately, and I do mean unfortunately, it seems that Cartoon Network Studios might be getting merged with Warner Brothers Animation. Now, why am I mentioning this? Well, Cartoon Network Studios has been producing absolutely amazing content like Adventure Time, Regular Show, Amazing World of Gumball, and Steven Universe. And Warner Brothers doc- has been known to make adaptations and reboots of their properties, whether it's Teen Titans Go, the Animaniacs reboot, the upcoming Velma series for HBO Max, Harley Quinn, which is honestly a really good show. I highly recommend it if you guys have HBO Max. And yeah, this is just absolutely terrible news because we'll be getting less original content from Cartoon Network in the near future, and more of Warner Brothers just digging into their archives and finding whatever thing they can adapt into a TV series. I mean, they already did make shows of Aquaman and Thundercats and the Powerpuff Girls, and those have not ended well. Especially Thundercats. I mean, that show lasted like one season, but I didn't watch it, so how would I know? Anyways, I guess I'm just gonna vent about Warner Brothers Discovery. Honestly, this is an absolutely terrible idea. It's bad enough that Batgirl was canceled. It's bad enough that a bunch of content has been taken off of HBO Max. And it's bad enough that HBO Max itself will be merged with Discovery Plus next year. But tampering with Cartoon Network, I'm sorry that just really put me over the line. They really did it, and well, this might be the end of Cartoon Network as we know it. It's been a hell of a run. Um anyways, I'm also gonna remind you guys about a certain movie coming out this weekend, and you probably know what it is, and if you don't, well, it's Halloween Ends. I apologize for that. Halloween Ends is supposedly the final installment of the Halloween franchise, which, as we all know, will probably not be true. The film will be released tomorrow, October 14th, in theaters, but also on Peacock, which will probably be detrimental to the film's success at the box office. Um, the film will the film obviously returns Jamie Lee Curtis to her iconic role of Laurie Strode, and the film it looks like it's about her final battle with Michael Myers. I'm really hoping this will be good because Halloween Kills was not good. It wasn't good at all, and that's really all I can say about it. Just wasn't very good. Let's see what else. Yeah, honestly, I can't really think of anything else to talk about right now, so I guess we'll end it here. I'm sorry if you guys expect long content, but sometimes I just lose my train of thought while recording this, so can't blame me for trying. Anyways, I really hope that you guys like this series. May- Maybe like leave a comment, ask me to talk about any more movies, and yeah, I will see you guys next week, hopefully with a review of Halloween Ends. Until then, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next week.